The wedding was over. The laughter had faded, but in Jack and Tu Tien's home, happiness still lived in every corner. For the first time in many years, Tu Tien no longer cried at night. For the first time, she did not wake up in fear. She had a husband who loved her, who promised to protect her no matter what. And then came the news. One morning, the doctor smiled and said the words she thought she would never hear. "You are pregnant." Tu Tien froze. Her heart beat wildly. For a moment, she could not speak. Tears filled her eyes as she touched her belly. Could it be true? Could she finally be a mother? Jack grabbed her hands, overwhelmed with joy. His voice shook. "From today, you are not only my wife," he whispered. "You are the mother of my child. I will protect you, and I will protect our baby with everything I have." Tu Tien smiled through tears. She remembered the years of humiliation. She remembered the day her ex-husband Chien and his mother threw her out of the house because she could not give them a child. She remembered living in shame, hungry, hiding in caves, mocked by neighbors. They called her useless, cursed her as barren. And now she carried life, a new beginning, a gift she thought would never come. She held Jack's hand tightly. For the first time, she felt complete. But happiness never comes without shadows. News travels fast. It always does. And when the news reached Chien, it was like a storm exploding in his chest. Chien remembered the day he kicked Tu Tien out. He remembered the cruel words he and his mother shouted at her. He remembered calling her barren, worthless nothing. He thought he had buried her forever in shame. But now she was pregnant. With Jack's child. With the child of a man richer, stronger, and far more respected than him. Chien's pride was shattered. His heart twisted with jealousy and hate. He felt mocked by destiny. If she could bear a child now, then his rejection of her in the past was the greatest mistake of his life. But instead of regret, only rage filled him. He could not accept it. "No," he muttered to himself. "If she has a child, then that child is mine. It must be mine. I will not let her take everything away from me." His mother, just as bitter, whispered poison into his ears. "We cannot let them shame us like this. Go, my son, claim what is yours. Show the world you are still the father." The very next week, a loud commotion rose outside Jack's house. Curious villagers gathered, whispering, pointing. At the gate stood Chien, his face red, his clothes dirty, but his voice sharp as a blade. Beside him was his mother wailing, beating her chest, drawing attention. Chien's voice roared across the street. "The baby in her belly is mine. Do you hear me, mine? You cannot steal my blood." Gasps filled the crowd. Some looked shocked, others suspicious. The whispers grew louder. Could it be true? Did Tu Tien betray Jack? Could the baby really be Chien's? Chien's mother fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. "She left my son for a rich man. She wants to take away my grandchild. People of the village, judge this. Tell me, is this fair?" The noise was deafening. Fingers pointed. Some eyes were full of pity, others full of doubt. Inside the gate, Tu Tien stood frozen. Her hands instinctively covered her belly. Her body trembled. Old wounds ripped open again. She saw herself once more as the woman thrown out like trash, cursed as barren, laughed at by the world. Her lips trembled. She wanted to scream back to tell the truth, but the words stuck in her throat. Tears burned her eyes. And then a car stopped. The engine silenced the crowd for a moment. Jack stepped out, tall, calm, his eyes cold but blazing with fire. Without a word, he walked through the gate and placed himself in front of Tu Tien, shielding her with his body. His voice cut through the chaos. You speak of blood, Chien. Do you remember the day you and your mother threw her out because she could not give you a child? Do you remember the nights she cried alone? Do you remember calling her useless? That day you destroyed your right to be a husband? That day you destroyed your right to be a father? The crowd fell silent. Even the air felt heavy. Jack's voice grew stronger. This baby is not yours. This child is the fruit of love, not cruelty. From now until forever, I, Jack, am the only father. Do not dare to dream otherwise. Murmurs spread. The villagers began to nod their sympathy, shifting to Jack and Tu Tien. They remembered the truth. They remembered how Chien had abandoned her, how he had mocked her. The tide was turning. Chien's face twisted with rage, his fists clenched, his voice broke into a scream. Lies, all lies, I will take this to court, I will prove before the law that I am the father. Money cannot buy the truth. He lunged forward, but Jack's hand shot out, stopping him with unshakable strength. Touch her, Jack said coldly, his voice like ice, and you will regret it. The law is not your weapon. The truth is not your weapon. And the people are not your weapon. You have nothing. The villagers gasped. The tension was electric. Chien trembled, his eyes wild with hate, but he could not move. Before leaving, he pointed a shaking finger at Tu Tien's stomach, his voice like venom. That baby will never be safe. I will come back. And when I do, the truth will destroy you both. With that, he turned, storming away, his mother stumbling after him. The crowd slowly dispersed, murmuring. Some shook their heads in disgust at Chien. Others still whispered in doubt. But the noise faded, leaving only silence behind the gate. Tu Tien collapsed against Jack, sobbing. I don't care what they say about me, she cried, her voice shaking. But I fear that because of me, you will have to carry this burden. You will have to fight my past. Jack lifted her face, his eyes steady and unbreakable. Listen to me. You are not a burden. You are my wife. You are my honor. And this child is my future. No one, Chien, his mother, or anyone else will take that away from me. He held her tightly. She could feel his strength, his promise. For a moment, she believed again that love could shield her from every storm. But as the sun sank behind the hills, painting the sky in red and gold, both of them knew this was not the end. Chien would not stop. His hatred was too deep, his pride too wounded. He would spread rumors. He would whisper poison into the ears of neighbors. He would try to twist the law to his side. The storm had only begun. What will Chien do next? Will he truly go to court? Or will he choose darker ways to destroy Jack and Tu Tien's happiness? Will Jack be able to protect his wife and their unborn baby from the shadows of the past? Stay tuned for the next chapter of this story, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the drama of Jack and Tu Tien.